Okay, we'll start with a new story, so there's no problem, right? So we know that Arjun and Krishna are good friends. You know that, okay? And Krishna used to usually spend a lot of time with Arjun, okay? And he used to be with Arjun most of the time. So this time also he is with Arjun, and they want to. It's really hot. It's summer time, and they really want to go to the Yamuna river because the breeze is cooler there. So they all decide. Everybody decides. Draupadi, Subhadra, Arjun, Krishna. They all decide. Let's go for a picnic next to Yamuna river, and you know, because they are kings, so they have arrangement like food arrangement, and there are these, you know, pleasure palaces there, and they can really have a nice picnic with good food and good environment. So they move there, and everybody is having a lot of good time and lot of fun. And then Krishna and Arjun, they decide that let's go to a secluded place. We want to chit chat, like, you know how two best friends, they want to talk in seclusion, they want to talk in private. So they went to a secluded place, and they started chatting, and Arjun started telling Krishna all about what he was doing, and Krishna started telling Arjun what he was doing. So like that, while they were having conversation, somebody appeared suddenly in that forest, you know, in that area. Somebody appeared, and he looked like a Brahmin, okay, and he was very effulgent, right, and his body was shining like gold, and he had these lotus eyes, and he came there. Although he was very handsome, tall and handsome, but he was dressed up in rags. So can you make any guesses? Who can this person be? Yeah, he's the fire god. You know the story.
Yes.
So now he approaches Krishna and Arjun, and so they are really surprised that, you know, how come this person has come here. So he asks this person that, please give us your introduction. Who are you? So he says, I'm a voracious eater. I eat a lot, and
But to eat the trees.
yeah, and I really want to eat, but I have a different kind of a food. I like different kind of food. I don't like rajma, chawal, rice, dal, curry,
He's
right?
a fire god. He wants to burn down the whole.
Yeah.
He wants to burn down the whole forest.
Yeah, so he's saying
No.
that I actually want to devour this Khandavaprastha forest, this Khandav forest, right? And so, but the problem was that that particular forest was under the protection of
Indraji.
Indra. So Indra was protecting it because one of his best friend was residing in that forest, and his best friend's name was Taksha. Okay, so the more,
Raksha could just go to Indra and then he could do it.
yeah, but he was living there with his family, with his children, with his wives and everyone. So now every time he attempted at least 6 times to burn that place up and eat it, but every time,
And rain, and then he couldn't.
yeah. So then Indra was trying all he could do to prevent that place from being,
Burned.
yeah. So now what? So but Agni Dev, the Lord of the Fire, actually wants to have it. So what does he do? So they wanted to know the background. That why do you want to have this particular forest? You know, and why are you not so healthy? You know, why are you looking so pale? What is the reason? What is the background story? So he said that once upon a time there was a king called Svetaki. Okay, and he, you know, and he was totally inclined to do sacrifices. There are some kings who always wants to do swaha,
So he just
right?
put a lot of ghee.
Yeah, so every time he was doing these sacrifices, in fact all the Brahmins who came to do the sacrifice for this king, their eyes were burning with smoke, but still the king continued to do these sacrifices. And so you know, one fine day the Brahmana said, we can't carry on further, so you managed to do these sacrifices on your own. So those Brahmanas left, but the king, you know what he did? He did a lot of,
He didn't know like what to put, So he put a lot of ghee.
No, you have to put a lot of ghee anyways in the sacrifice, but now the Brahmanas are not there. So you know what he did? He went to Mount Kailash and he did lot of austerities, and he started praying to Lord Shiva, and he told Lord Shiva that I really need to do these austerities. So he kept on, Lord Shiva actually granted him that boon. Okay, you continue with your austerities. So in order to do those sacrifices, he used a lot of ghee. And when you put ghee in the Agni, when you put ghee in the fire, what happens to the fire? Smoke comes,
Yeah.
and you know it actually gets extinguished, right? So because every in the spiritual world, all this Agni, Vayu, Chandra, these are all personalities, right? So this personality, the fire personality, is actually losing its
Fire.
effulgence, losing its effulgence. So he said, okay, now what to do? Agni is becoming paler and paler because of these sacrifices. So he went to Brahma. So he said, please help me out. I'm losing my health and I need to do something. So Brahma said, why don't you go to Krishna and Arjun, because they are really great warriors and they'll be very happy to help you, and they're actually equipped to help you, right?
Yeah,
So
they just need weapons.
yeah. So then this Agni Dev, he goes to the forest and he also takes Vayu with him. Vayu is the wind god.
Yeah.
Because for the Agni to spread, for the fire to spread across forests, you need a lot of wind. Okay. So after he got this instruction from Brahma, Agni went to the place where Krishna and Arjuna are sitting and having a chat. Remember? Now, when Agni actually gave the proposal to Arjun, Arjun said, I am very happy to help you, but my problem is I don't have the
equipment and weapons.
yeah, I don't have the right weapons, nor do I have the right quiver to keep those arrows in, nor do I have a chariot. So I don't have any of these. So this Agni Dev, he actually called another demigod. Can you guess which demigod he called upon? He called upon Varun Dev. He is the lord of the water. Okay, he has all these weapons. So you know which weapon he gave to Arjun? The most famous bow that Arjun has, and this it starts with G, Gandhiv. Yeah, this Gandhiv is actually, this one single bow is equal to 1 lakh bows. Like what 1 lakh bows can accomplish, this Gandhiv can accomplish in a moment, right? So this Gandhiv bow is also being mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. When Arjun doesn't want to fight, he says, my Gandhiv is slipping out of my hand and I am becoming nervous, and my body is trembling, and I am not able to fight this war. So Gandhiv is mentioned there also, and it was such a huge bow, and it was of the color of a rainbow. It was that beautiful. And then he also got this quiver of inexhaustible arrows. Like you can have as many arrows as you want in that quiver. Okay. And then he also wanted a chariot, because how will you fight a war, right, without a chariot? You need a car, right, to go from one place to another. You need a chariot. Even in the battlefield is so huge. You know, you need to travel, right, in your chariot. So he had that chariot with you know, these horses which actually came from the celestial places, like from, these are the celestial horses, and they run or they move with the power of the wind. They are that fast. Okay. So once he had all these three things, now he's well equipped. Now he's saying, okay, now I'm ready to actually go ahead and fight, you know, take your side, you know, fight against Indra. So now Agni started actually spreading across the fire. So forest fire started, spreading all over. Now the moment the fire would spread, Indra would immediately send columns and columns of water from heavenly planets. Okay, and the moment he would send this water down, but the Agni was so effulgent and so bright that the water would turn into steam. You read that in science, right? It would turn into water vapor. Okay. Now Agni then Indra sends more thunderbolt, lightning, those kind of clouds.
Arjuna shoots it with the Gandhi bow in mid-air and it doesn't reach the ground.
Yeah, so what he does is he makes an umbrella out of his arrows, those inexhaustible arrows. He makes an umbrella out of it, and he covers the entire Khandavaprastha forest with that umbrella of arrows. So no water is reaching on the ground. So if no water reaches on the ground, then fire is going to spread like crazy, right? So now what is happening to the all the living entities and all the animals and everything which is there in the forest? They're all
Krishna ji is evacuating them.
Yeah, they're all actually dying. Now you may ask, like, why so many jivas, so many living entities are dying? Because in that Khandavaprastha forest, a lot of sinful living entities were living, and it was Krishna's desire that all these sinful living entities should actually get eradicated. Okay, so Agni was doing that job, and Krishna and Arjuna was helping him do that, right? Then once this whole thing got over, now Indra is going on trying, but nothing is happening, right? He's not being able to accomplish. So there's a divine oracle, there's a divine sound which comes from the heavenly planets and says that, Indra, don't try to oppose Arjun and Krishna, because you won't be able to. Yeah, and they are actually there to bring dharma, bring righteousness into the planet. And don't worry about your friend Taksha. He's actually in Kurukshetra. He's not there. So don't worry. So then Indra gets pacified, and he doesn't make any attempt to bring any hindrance to the forest fire.
So his friend was not sinful.
No.
The one he was trying to correct.
No, he wasn't there at all.
Okay.
And Indra was friendly with him, so he wanted to save his friend.
But he was gone to a trip to
Yeah, he was in Kurukshetra. So he said that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, so don't try to take any,
Don't try to be smart.
Yeah, don't try to be smart with Krishna, because he's the smartest, right? So now there was another person who was trying to escape, and his name is Maya demon. Okay, and this Maya demon, when he's trying to escape, obviously nothing goes unnoticed by Krishna and Arjuna, right? So that moment Krishna actually takes out his Sudarshan disc, and the moment he will discharge his Sudarshan disc at anybody, that person cannot survive. So that Maya demon, when he sees that Krishna is about to kill him, he actually runs quickly and takes shelter of Arjuna, right? And when he takes shelter of Arjuna, then Arjuna says, okay, I'll save you, don't worry, Krishna will not kill you. So Arjuna actually saves Maya demon, otherwise he would have been killed by the forest fire and by Krishna, right?
But Arjuna saves it not by war, by asking Krishna to do it.
Sorry?
So basically, Arjuna was basically, he didn't stop the disc by war or anything. He just told Krishna that she's asking for shelter, so don't kill her.
Yeah. So now Maya demon, the moment he was saved, because he could see so many people died, right? So many living entities had died. He was the only one who got saved. So he was very, very grateful to Arjun, and he really wanted to do something for Arjun, right? So he said, you know, out of gratitude, I really want to do something for you. Please instruct me. Whatever you will say, I'll do for you. So Krishna knew that this Maya demon is actually not an ordinary demon. You know, he has an art. You know what is his art? He's a very good he's very good at architecture. He can make beautiful things, and because he is Maya demon, he can actually make it Mayavi. He can make it mystic, right? So Krishna tells him, okay, you're a great constructor, so why don't you build a sabha, assembly hall, a sabha hall, an assembly hall for King Yudhishthir? Because if you remember the background, this Khandavaprastha forest has been given by Dhritarashtra to the Pandavas, because when they came back from the exile, they had to be given their kingdom back. Actually, they were the rightful owners of the entire kingdom, right? But because we know that Dhritarashtra is really attached to his own son Duryodhan, he gave them this Khandavaprastha, which is good for nothing, this place, right? The wild trees are growing, and nothing decent is happening.
We got this, he told this story, but since he was a constructor,
Yudhishthir made Indraprastha out of that.
Yeah.
It was a really
good castle, and
Yeah.
everyone wanted to shift
Yeah.
shift there now.
Exactly. So that was where we stopped, right? So I took you back to where we actually ended the last session. So this is that particular place. This Khandavaprastha forest is that particular place where now this Maya demon is going to construct a beautiful palace and a beautiful city called Indraprastha, and which is actually going to eventually make Duryodhan really jealous of the Pandavas, right? And I'll tell you how it looked, and it was so beautiful that it captured everyone's attention, you know. And there was this beautiful hall that he made, and there was a pond in the middle with, you know, artificial flowers and artificial birds and all, but they looked real. Nobody could say that they are artificial. That is why it is so mystic, you know. There's a mystery to it. And like exotic birds are in the pond, and then, you know, there are these columns of gold and crystal and gems, and very beautiful. Like the breeze is so, you know, they didn't have AC and all, but that hall would never become like really hot. So these pleasant breezes always blowing there, and if it's too cold outside, it'll have, you know, warm breeze. You know, it'll give you a feeling of a humidifier in that hall, right? So everything was very refreshing about that hall, and the design that he used was so intricate, and the decoration was so beautiful that everybody got mesmerized when they saw the beauty of this beautiful palace that Maya demon created. And then he took many days, many months to make it, and then he actually presented it to Maharaj Yudhishthir. And when Maharaj Yudhishthir, before entering the palace, he actually called many Brahmins, you know, and he actually fed them prasad, right? He's fed them real sumptuous food, and then after feeding them nicely and taking their blessings, then he entered the palace. And when he entered the palace, there were a lot of bards, a lot of musicians, and lot of these professional artists who came, and there was a proper ceremony which was done for the inauguration of this hall. And then Maharaj Yudhishthir, he actually, with all his brothers, they welcomed all the sages. And you know who actually came to Indraprastha in the beginning? Can you guess which particular sage came? He is very famous. His name starts with N. He's called the Transcendental Spaceman. He can travel anywhere and everywhere, wherever he wants. What's his name? and what is he called? Transcendental spaceman. Okay, so he doesn't need a spaceship.
So he can come here also.
He is actually, whenever we speak about Krishna and whenever we do Krishna Katha, he is actually present, and because he is so keen to hear, he is always keen to hear. So he came, and obviously when a sage comes to your house, you have to offer him respects. And what all can you do to offer respects to a sage? What do you think, if a sage comes to your house, what will you offer him?
Food with gratitude.
Yeah, very good.
Fruits, he said fruits. Food,
Very good. Fruits.
Food, but like not with like. we
What
need
was
to-
that? Yes, very nice.
Be
Food,
kind.
but not with like full of pride or anything. With gratefulness.
Yes, with
So that-
gratefulness.
Humility and gratefulness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Pandavas, especially Yudhishthira Maharaj, he actually washed the feet of Narad Muni. Then he gave him a beautiful garland to wear, and he gave him all that hospitality that you are mentioning. And then he asked Narad Muni to have a nice seat. Okay, after he gave him all the food and water and everything, and Yudhishthira Maharaj, actually Krishna is asking Yudhishthira to actually do a sacrifice. This is the biggest sacrifice which the kings do. Have you heard of it? I'm sure you will read about it in your history books later in grade 7, 8. But it's called the Rajsuya Yagya. Okay, this Rajsuya Yagya is a
Big sacrifice.
yeah. Have you read it in history? Yes. So which grade are you in? Yeah, 7, 8. Usually read it in grade 8. So he Maharaj Yudhishthir actually didn't want to perform the Rajsuya Yagya to for his own sense gratification. Rajsuya Yagya means that the person who does it, he becomes the emperor of the world. All the kingdoms and all the kings come under his control, right?
Like Donald Trump is trying.
Right.
He's doing this yagya, sitting in America.
But yeah, yes, but he actually wants to be an instrument in the divine plan of Krishna, because Krishna wants it. It will give pleasure to Krishna. That is why Maharaj Yudhishthir was trying to take permission from Narad Muni. He wanted to ask Narad Muni that should I do this sacrifice? And lot of wealth is also required to do this sacrifice. This is not a small sacrifice. Like, when you do a puja, when you do a big anushtan or something, you need a lot of wealth for that, right? So Narad Muni says that yes, you are the rightful person, because as I told you earlier also, he is very saintly, he is very virtuous, he is very truthful, he always says words which are pleasing, never hurts anybody's feelings. So he is the right person on this planet. At that time, he was the right person on the planet who should become the emperor of the world, so that everybody follows his example, right? So Narad Muni gives his he gives his consent, and he says you can do it. And when he says that, he actually blesses the Pandavas and he leaves the assembly hall. Now, in order to do this, it is not very easy, is it? Is it easy? Because why is it not easy? Because at that time there were very many evil kings which were on planet Earth, and that is why Krishna has actually appeared to kill those demoniac forces, right? And this is a great opportunity for Maharaj Yudhishthir to subdue those demoniac forces and become the emperor, right? But in order to do this, there is one single person who is actually really, really evil. You know his name? He is actually evil, more evil than Duryodhana also. Shishupal is one of them. Anybody else? Do you think? Do you remember any name you heard with the letter J?
Jarasand?
Yeah, Jarasand. So Jarasand is the most evil guy at that time, 5,000 years ago.
Even more evil than Kamsa.
Yeah, they are all pretty evil, like, you know, very similar, right? They are all friends also. They are actually associates of each other. Duryodhan, Jarasandha, Shishupal, Kams, they are all friends. Okay?
Comes died.
Yeah, Kamsa is dead, but Shishupal will die later after Jarasandha, but first we will see how.
All the people are dead.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah, we will see how Krishna tackles Jarasandha. Now, Jarasandha actually has a very, very interesting and mysterious story. Do you want to know his story?
Yes.
Okay. So, Jarasandha actually, he was very, very sinful, as I told you. And you know what he had done? His plan was to capture 100 kings and then kill them and then offer them to Lord Shiva in a sacrifice. Isn't it really, really weird and degraded activity? Only a person who's of a very, very low consciousness will do this, right? Who will do this, right? But that is why he's so sinful. Because for his own good, he's willing to sacrifice other humans, yes. And 100 is his number. And you know how many kings he's already captured? Guess a number? Huh?
58.
You are very close.
69.
Huh? 8 is the right number.
68.
68 is the right number. Change the first number.
86.
Huh?
86.
You're so close.
88.
88. 88.
We told ready, so.
So he needs 12 more kings. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking, I would have asked you to do the math next. 100 minus 88 is 12. So imagine he's already captured 88 and 12 is very small number in front of 88, isn't it? He can do it any minute. So the time has now come to actually defeat this king. And who can do it? Krishna can do it. But you know what? There's a long story. Krishna stays in which place? Do you know which place?
Dwarka.
Yes. So Dwarka, and this Jarasandha came to Dwarka to attack Krishna. You know how many times? 17 times. 17 times he came to attack Krishna, and all the 17 times Krishna actually defeated him but did not kill him. So he would run back and get more, support and come back again and again attack Dwarka.
But he would just kill him in the first place.
So why do you think Krishna did not kill him?
Ma'am, because he felt sympathetic.
He felt such a evil person, you will feel I mean, if there is a murderer, will the police feel sympathetic towards the murderer?
Because it wasn't the right time.
Partly yes, okay. Krishna does everything in the right time. That's partly good answer. Very good, very close. Because you
wanted
sorry,
to-
you want to say?
He wanted to turn him to the good side.
But he's very sinful. That is his description of Jarasandha is equal to the most sinful person on earth.
I don't understand.
See, I gave you the clue. Every time Jarasandha was defeated, he would go back and get more of his friends along.
Ma'am, until he ran out of people and he would come alone, then would be the correct time.
Yes.
If he would have killed him before, then every single evil person would come and attack Krishna at the same time, and then Krishna would have lesser chances of.
Yeah, so Jarasandha is actually helping Krishna in his plan. He's getting all his friends, all his evil friends together, and then Krishna is just killing all of them in one go, but leaving Jarasandha so that he goes back again. Like that, Krishna gave him 17 times. He gave him 17 chances, right?
In fact, Jarasandha is actually helping Krishna.
That's right.
He's making his job easier.
Hmm?
He knows it or he doesn't?
Jarasandha is not aware. He's just doing it.
If he was aware, then why would he do it?
Yeah,
The thing
exactly.
is that he's so sinful, he just wants to get Krishna that he doesn't really think of what could happen.
And you know what happened? 17th time Krishna defeated him. You know what 18th time Krishna did? he actually, when Jarasandha attacked Dwarka on the 18th time, Krishna actually ran away from Dwarka.
Why?
And you know, Jarasandha said what? He became so proud of himself and he said, hey, look, 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 this Krishna is so scared of me, he ran away. So he is now, so he is called Ranchhod. So what does he call him? Ran means battlefield, Chod means somebody who runs away and leaves the battlefield. So he's called Ranchhod. So Jarasandha actually gives Krishna his beautiful name called Ranchhod. But do you think Krishna actually cares?
No.
He doesn't care because he knows that he will actually get Jarasandha killed from one of his devotees. He will not kill Jarasandha himself, but he will ask one of his devotee to kill Jarasandha, because Krishna always wants to give the credit to his devotee. It's very easy.
He just weakens Jarasandha a lot, and then his devotee does the last hit.
No, but then Jarasandha is very powerful also. I'll tell you Jarasandha's story, how he was born. He's so powerful that the day he was born, when he was a small baby, he actually roared so loudly, everybody became so scared. You know, and he was so strong and he was so heavy as a baby that nobody could actually lift him up. So he's really, really strong.
Then how could they get him out?
Yeah, so you want to know his story, the way he was born? Because he was not born ordinarily. He was extraordinarily born.
But he uses power for bad.
Yeah, he was not using his power for
Good.
good. He was using it for,
Granted.
yeah.
Bad.
Okay. So you want to know his story?
Yeah.
How he was born?
Yeah.
Can we do that next time?
Is it the person
But then how did he
who
die?
had two
Like,
sides?
maybe you want to finish how he.
So then, so Jarasandha's story is that there was a great king called Bhradadrita, and he had 2 wives, but he had no sons. Okay. So one day he heard that there's a very great sage called Chandra Kaushik, and he is coming to his kingdom. So you know, these sages actually, they give you a lot of boons, right, and benedictions. So he went to worship the sage, and the sage was very pleased with his offering, and he said, okay, and these sages actually know what you want, right? So the sage went and he sat under a tree and he started meditating, and you know which, he sat under a mango tree. That was just by fluke. He just sat under a tree, and when he was sitting and meditating, a mango fell on his lap, right? So he opened his eyes and he gave that mango to the king, and he told the king that you please give it to your wife. He said, what was his instruction? Give it to your wife. And he didn't say give it to your wives. He said give it to your wife.
So,
But
since he had 2 wives, he split the mango in
yeah,
half. And both of
yeah.
them.
So
So when the baby came out, half was in one mother room and other half was in another one. So then the sage again joined them, and then the only way he can be defeated is by cutting him straight in the middle.
yeah, exactly. So so when he went back, he gave, as you said, he split the mango, and he gave it half to his one wife and half mango to his other wife. And now when the time came, the baby was born, but the baby born to one wife had 1 ear, 1 eye, 1 limb, okay, and the other baby was also like that, right? So then when the king saw that, the king thought, oh, this is not a complete baby, and he threw the baby in the forest, right? And
So that means did the babies like cell and everything show?
yeah, so they were like just half. Imagine when you learn how to draw, you make it like that, right? You make a symmetrical drawing and half side.
Like half
Well, like the
organs were there, but the
Yeah,
was there.
exactly.
So,
So
half stomach.
yeah, it was weird. It was odd,
Very weird.
really odd.
Glue them together.
No, not glue. They fixed them together, and the only way he could be defeated was by straight down the middle, cutting him in half.
Yeah, so he threw the flesh or whatever. But in that forest there was a female demon called Jara. She used to live there, okay, and when she saw this flesh, out of curiosity, she saw both the halves, right? Out of curiosity, she just put them together, and they immediately joined together, and the baby was formed. So because she was living in that forest and she was in a way a citizen of that king, right? So she felt that this king doesn't have a son, so might as well go and present this child to the king. And when the king actually saw the child, he actually accepted the child as his son, because he knew that this was the same baby he had thrown, right? And this baby was so strong. Now we could also ask that why didn't that demon eat that flesh, right? Because he was so heavy that she just couldn't think of eating. So she just handed over the baby to the king. And this Jarasandha actually grew up to be a very, very powerful youth. And Jarasandha is practically unconquerable, okay? Nobody, he's so strong that nobody can actually defeat him. He can only be defeated in a single combat, like one on one.
And that is because, the only way he can be defeated if someone cuts him in half.
That and who will do that, we'll get to know in the next class, okay?
I think it was Arjuna.
No,